We're at a point now where we have to come to terms with the fact that Mark Carney is compromised with China. And the facts are indisputable. Watch this. China just announced that they want to partner with Canada to push back against American bullying. And I know what you're thinking, that sounds great. But wait, Beijing has control of media in Canada, and that enabled election interference. This isn't coming from me, this is coming from CSIS documents. Senior Chinese officials instructed journalists in Toronto to support the rise of a federal politician. These were clandestine operations involving threats against journalists. Beijing's ultimate objective is influencing Canadian media to help elect politicians who are friendly towards the Chinese Communist Party. For those who've never heard of Sam Cooper, I don't think there's a single journalist on earth that knows more about this topic than him. But wait, there's so much more. The Chinese government, they boosted Mark Carney's posts on their popular social media platforms. They garnered an estimated 1 to 3 million views each. Two posts caught fire at a suspiciously fast rate. And I've said this before and I'll say it again, I believe that the Globe and Mail is so far left-leaning that they are almost a mouthpiece for the Liberal Party. Even they published this, they had to. Carney says he'd never heard of a pro-Beijing group despite photos with all of its leaders. And I'm not going to go into in-depth of this, but the evidence is damning. He knew exactly who they were. Carney's Beijing investments is CCP greenwashing and WEF and AIIB ties. Again, all thanks to Sam Cooper. Beware Mark Carney's affection for authoritarian China. Former diplomat worried Carney will make more and more beholden to the demands of Beijing. Now, there's something else that I think is relevant. Do you guys remember China implementing 100% tariffs on canola and how much it affects our farmers in Canada? Mark Carney said nothing. In fact, when you look at his account on X, not one post. Do this yourself. Go up there and you can type in China. You can barely see it because it's cut off on the screenshot. No results from Mark Carney with anything related to China. Nothing at all. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Mark Carney is compromised and he's not being upfront about it. In fact, if you go back and look at some of his old papers that he's done, he talked about a new currency, moving away from the US dollar and having some sort of, I think he called it some sort of a hybrid model that included the Chinese currency. He hasn't spoken about that whatsoever. He avoids the question. They asked him, why do you think they would boost your post? He said, I don't know. Next question. Move on. He refuses to expand on it. He refuses to condemn it. He refuses to say, this is not welcome. This should not be done. You should not be interfering in our elections. Why do you think that is?